Okay, everyone, welcome to the episode. Hopefully, we have a few people out there in YouTube land. I'm still learning the technology, so bear with me. This is all new to me. Um, I'm Steve. I'm the director of Real Estate Investor Army, I guess, general. I don't know, whatever. Truthfully, the Real Estate Investor Army was born because of COVID. I realized there were lots of people at home, lots of people wanting to learn real estate, and not a lot of money coming in. So people paying for education wasn't going to be the plan right now. One of the most important things for me, I've been in real estate since 1997. I bought a building with my brother. It was kind of a not investment for me. It was his building. He ran it, whatever. I was just kind of along for the ride. But what I got into was when we refinanced in 2009, I got some money to buy my own properties, and I've been full-time since 2008, 2009. The idea behind the Army is that I simply can't do all the deals that are out there. I can't find all the deals that are out there. And there's a lot of folks like you who really want to get in the game, don't want to spend thousands of dollars on training, which I don't recommend you do. My training is a little different. We can get into that separately, but the $10, $20, $30,000 training, screw that. You can buy a building for that. You want to work alongside someone. I'm not saying you don't need to learn the business. You absolutely do. There are tricks and tips and whatever that you need to know. That's what this is about. Now, very quickly, I do offer paid training. I do offer seminars. I do offer $100 2-hour seminars. I do offer $500 20-hour training. I do offer $1,000 and $2,000 things where I teach you everything and hold your hand. This is not that. This is not a replacement necessarily for that. This is for the self-starter. REIA.biz is designed for the person who can make themselves work well. This is for the self-starter. I really got to use the thing differently. I got to spin it around here so I actually have a solid platform to write on, and then my scribble will be a little bit less scribbly. The first thing you need to do when you want to be a member of the Army is understand why it's an Army. It's an Army because two things. One, we want a lot of progress. That means leads. Leads are everything to the Army. Leads are everything to your business. If you think of your business like a funnel, leads are out here. Leads are the stuff that comes in. Then you have the steps it goes through while it turns into a deal. Over here you have deals. Here you have leads. So we want a lot of progress. The other reason we named it the Army is there is a hierarchy of sorts. There are stages, there are levels, there are grades. There are ranks, if you will. As you progress, you will increase in the ranks. Along with increasing in the ranks, it's not just a G, you got a nice little special color to put on your business card. You get more money per deal. I am not starting everyone off at the same spot. We will work one-on-one to determine where you start off based on your experience. But I'm going to describe it from the beginning. I'm going to describe it from where you start off. If you come in with no experience, primarily I'm going to be telling you that your job, first and foremost, is to bring leads into the funnel. Your job is to find opportunities. Your job is to do the stuff out here that brings everything into the game. Obviously, there are two sides of what you want to bring in. Buyers and sellers. It's important as wholesalers, as bird dogs, as investors, it is important for us to find out what our buyers and sellers want. Now, if you're in a different place, if you're in the place that says, hey, I'm ready to buy a property, I want to learn how to own my own stuff, I want to learn how to find my own flips, that's great. We can work that through the Army as well. In which case, you're less interested in your buyers. You're interested in your sellers. It's the same work either way. So, the way we work is very simple. The first thing and foremost thing is ethics. You will be getting from me tonight, later tonight, everyone will receive a link to a DocuSign. Or you might just receive an email to me. I might get tired of doing the DocuSign process. Fill it out, sign it, send it back. If you want to, you can download Cami. Cami is K-A-M-I. It is a great plugin for your Chrome. You can sign the DocuSign right there on your screen. It is really one of the most useful tools. It's the plugin, the free plugin that I use absolutely the most. We will do a non-disclosure. That says that you're not going to share my private information outside the group, and I'm not going to share yours with anybody. Okay? Ethics means honesty. Ethics means knowing your place. And by that I don't mean you're below me. I mean there are things realtors can do and things non-realtors can do. Knowing where you fit in the equation and knowing what you're allowed to do. Even as a licensed realtor and a wholesaler and an investor, I don't ever give anyone advice as to what I think of the furnace in the house. I am not an inspector. I don't ever tell anyone. I had somebody ask me point blank, well, isn't it legal to assign contracts in Pennsylvania? I said, I don't know. That would be an attorney question. I know what I think is true. I don't know that to be true. And the most important part of ethics is integrity and community. We have to remember, we are doing this to make money. But you don't start with that. Helping people makes money. It goes from here to here. You don't make money to help people. You help people to make money. Okay. The ranks in the Army. The reason we set it up as an Army is that I really wanted to make sure that people understood that my job is to motivate you and to move you to the next level. We clearly, obviously, wow, I really should have had that prepared better. Okay, let me go back here. We have different officers in the Army. I really should have had that prepared. The first level, Warrant Officer 1 they would call it, is the bird dog. That's your job to bring in deals. Bring in deals. It's actually bring in leads. But your job is to bring in deals. You bring in a deal, I will teach you how to process the deal through the equation, through the funnel, and eventually you'll step up to the other ranks in the Army. You'll be able to handle more and more things on your own. As you handle more and more things on your own, this is what happens. As my involvement and your involvement, as my involvement goes down and your involvement goes up, or I guess I probably should have done it as the reverse. Probably says your involvement goes down and my involvement goes, as my involvement goes down, your involvement goes up, your money goes up. I don't know how to draw that. I don't know why I even tried to draw that. So, the first step, you will make, depending on your skill level, 20 to 40% per deal. Now, all I expect for that is you find seller or buyer, you find a prospect. All you have to do to get your 20 to 40% is you find a lead. Now, as a member of the Army, I don't ever expect to pay you 20%. I want to start you off at 40%. But if you come in and you say, hey Steve, here's an address, bye-bye, I'm gone, I'm not giving you 40%. Just not. I can't give you 40% if you don't do 40% of the work. But if you say, here's an address, and I'm going to work that deal side by side with Steve, absolutely you're going to get 40%. What I want when you get through the other end of the Army, when you become an officer, is I only want 10 to 20% per deal. Because all I want to be doing is helping you close the deal. I just want to be there guiding you. I want you to know how to do it. That is what this is about. My success is your independence. I win when I make less than you. Maybe that another way. I win when you make more. My ideal split is 90% you. God, I wish I could write nicer. 10% me. That's where I want it to get to. I want it to get to where you're getting most of the deals. You're getting most of the money. That'll take time, depending on everyone's stage. So now, a few of the way the Army works. Okay. One thing to remember, and it sucks that it took me this long to realize this. Some of you, maybe all of you, excuse me, realized it sooner than I did. Is leads and deals are the exact same word. Let me draw it out for you. So our job is to turn leads into deals. We have a very clear process on how this happens. I'm not going to use the funnel design again because that always looks crappy. Step 1 is advertising. However you get the people to pay attention, you do it. My personal favorite is 500 for 5 minutes. Now, I'm not going to be a cheesy MLM salesperson and say, call your friends and family. But let's face it, who else do you talk to? You say to somebody, hey, listen, you can make $500 in 5 minutes. How's that? You give me name and address on a property. You find a property, you find a motivated seller, you find somebody with cash who wants to buy, you find somebody that wants to loan money. All you do is give me their number. You're out. When it happens, I give you $500. That is for sellers, buyers, lenders, borrowers, others. There are a few other categories we can use. Now, I will admit there's less money in these, so it might not be quite $500. But you're able to tell your friends and family, or whoever the hell you want, Give me a lead, I give you money. Your buddy's a building inspector, your buddy works for the city, your buddy's a tax collector, go for it. You hang up bandit signs, go for it. Whatever you do, tell everybody you know, $500 in 5 minutes. How does that even happen? First of all, we pay the 500. You don't. It comes out of our split. Now let's just take, I live in Scranton, PA, or near Scranton. Everybody knows Scranton, doesn't know the town I live in. An average wholesale is $5,000. So let's just say on an average split, obviously half of 500 or 5,000 is 2,500. So let's just say, hypothetically, that we bring the seller, somebody else brings the buyer. So our team, the Army, only gets the 2,500. Okay, great. So we take the 2,500, we take out the 500 that was promised to the other person. That was 2K, and we split that me, you. So it's not exactly true to say you don't pay it, but it's not like I give you $800 and expect you to pay $5. It's taken out of the cost up front. Because obviously if I was only getting 10% of $2,500, I can't pay the $500 because there's not $500 there. But that's how simple it is. That's how simple. So, whatever the split of $2,000 is, and that's a small wholesale fee, you've done well for a day's work. When's the last time you made $1,000 in a day? Okay. The second way we advertise is driving $4, which obviously in the days of COVID is not being done from your car. You are not driving for dollars physically. You can, that's fine, depending on your state law and your willingness to get hassled by the various government agencies, go for it. But driving for dollars can mean sorry, someone just asked for the link. I'm trying to resend it to them. Okay. The first one is Facebook, Craigslist, and the rest. Place ads or find ads. You don't ever want to lie, but you don't mind placing an ad like cash buyer for homes. Not a lie. I'm a cash buyer, I have cash buyers. You're not lying. You're part of my team. Or you say 3, 2, I don't know, Scranton, for sale. But it's important you say contract for sale. And that'll find you buyers. This one finds you sellers, this one finds you buyers. You place ads or you read the ads. People are looking to sell stuff. That's where they go to put it. They don't go to put it in the newspaper anymore. I can't remember the last time I even placed a newspaper ad, let alone got any deals from one. So you want to go to finding advertising. The second way you drive for dollars is your county website. It's usually called tax claim, assessor, or deed. Something like this, and I can provide you the links for my region. Something like this will give you access to the people who are behind, or the people who own a lot. Now in our next video, because I don't want these to drag on too long, our next video on Sunday, we're going to do live, you're going to see me do this. So this is sort of an overview of what you do. Next way we drive for dollars, online, electronically. Excuse me. Sorry. The next way we drive for dollars electronically is in working through I'm trying to think of the word, my brain just locked up, sorry. The next way we drive for dollars electronically is by mapping. And by what I mean by mapping is looking at the areas of your town where the most progress has happened recently. Figuring out what those street names are. And then you go back to your county website and you search those street names. And that information will also tell you where to place your bandit signs. The next way we can drive for dollars, and you can do this in the COVID shutdown, but just don't get caught, is you can do bandit signs. We can provide them, and of course postcards and letters. We can provide them or you can make them. Again, future video we will walk you through this. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not for the faint of heart. This is not for anyone that just wants to get in and do what they promise with Bitcoin, make $5,000 in a night. This isn't the game. This is the game for somebody that wants to build a career in part-time. Now, the last way is by data. You can, one, go to a place like ListSource. And on REIA, we will have links to different sources, probably by tomorrow. Definitely by Sunday. 2, Skip Tracer. Another one of our links, another one of our partner groups. You tell them what you're looking for, and they'll deliver you the lead with name, address, phone number, and everything. These guys are better than these guys because what ListSource and companies like that do is they'll buy, when you fill out for the free vacation to Florida postcard, and you fill out your name and address, you know why that vacation to Florida is free? It's because of guys like this. These guys work a little differently. Now, warning, money generating opportunity. We have a program with REIA.biz that we have a very unique method of getting people to our website, and you can become a part of that. It's a small subscription fee, but we're talking $50, $100 a year, depending on the level. $250, $300 on the high end. And we do a very unique combination of geofencing and keywords. This method right here is 45% success rate. Whereas this, you're lucky if you get 4 to 5. So this is online, available right now. The next method on advertising is team up. And here, I'm not here to sell you stuff. This is not about upping my income. This is just telling you what there is. We have a profit share model. And you'll see more information on Officer's page, where you will make 10% on top of everything, on every deal REIA does. So once you get people once you get leads, once you find people that are motivated, you should also talk to inspectors. I just saw my screen change color, which means my battery's running low, which means I better scramble and get this thing plugged in, or we'll have a whole different kind of conversation happening, which will be none. City officials, neighbors, getting the word out there, finding the people who would know what the problems are. Realtors, never ignore realtors. Realtors can be friendly to wholesalers, and they can send you expired leads. This is my number one way of getting business right now. Expired leads are leads that were listed, didn't sell during the listing contract, the realtor didn't get the renewal, and now they're in anybody's game. A lot of realtors don't like working expired leads. Their more experienced realtors won't do it. Well, those more experienced realtors might take a liking to you, and they might let you have access to the expired leads. It's a really easy sales point. Hi, I saw your house was advertised, listed until last week, and it didn't sell. Are you still want to sell it? Oh, well, shit, yeah, I want to sell it. Okay, great, I might be able to help you. Lots of ways to get things in the front door. And that is where you will start with us. We will help you get things in the front door. I shouldn't say that's where you start with us. But that is where we will start to help you. We have a product that you get free access to through us from Table 9 Media. It is the best content and customer relations management software. Auto dialer, voice drop, funnel manager. It's awesome. And it's free working with us as part of our program. We will take you through this on a future video, but understand that this is how we manage all of our opportunities. This is a sample page, this is not our actual page, but this is how we manage all of our opportunities, keeping track of where things are at in the system. Tracking your data is the number one thing. Tracking makes money. Every time I failed in my business, every time I've had a slowdown, it's because I failed to track my data and failed to work my deals appropriately. And my deals walk out the door and walk to somebody else. So when you get a lead, when you get a call in, when you do advertising, you do it through the method we teach you, and it shows up here. And it belongs to you. Your leads are yours. We don't own them. Well, we do own them. We don't share them with anybody else in the Army. If Sergeant Smith brings in a lead, Sergeant Smith and I make that lead happen. Nobody else has access to that lead. People can watch it. They can monitor it. But they don't have access to it. So, the first thing we're going to do is you're going to bring a lead from out here in the static, any source it comes from. And it comes into the funnel. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to fill out info. The second thing we're going to do is get data. So fill out info is name, address, phone number of the owner, and some kind of an introductory message to the owner. Get data is tell us about the property. This is not, usually not, the interview with the owner. This is before the interview with the owner. This is us doing the digital research necessary. This is Googling it. This is Zillow. This is all that other stuff that can be done. And most importantly, this is our spreadsheets. This is taking the most information we have and educating ourselves so when we call the owner, when we are on the phone with the owner, when we are on the email with the owner or whatever, we don't sound like a total doofus. We don't sound like we didn't know who we were calling. Now, there are many times we're not going to know. Many things are going to come in cold, and you're just going to have to wing it, and you're going to have to start from scratch. But we try to get ahead of that game, because we want this first call to be about them, not about us. Our job is solving their problem. We solve their problem, we make money. Put it another way. We solve, we sell. We sell, we succeed. So in the funnel, we've taken the basic data, we've taken the house information, we've talked to the owner, a really lousy looking phone. Some of you kids don't really know a phone ever looked like that, but it did. We then are back to the data again. This is data, this is data. This information is educated by this call. But on this call, the data is almost of secondary importance. Yes, we want to know everything about the house. We do. We want to know if the kitchen is 1940s or 1990s or 2009. We want to know if the electricity has ever been upgraded. But what we really want to know here is their story. We want to know what impacts them and what drove them to this point where they're even considering talking to us. We plug all this in. Now remember, it all gets run through the Content Customer Relations Management System, which you can see it's pretty comprehensive. We do this. Then we're back on the phone again with them. And yes, you can do this by text message, but these things are usually done better on the phone. And in person when it's not COVID time. And this is where we find out if the results of our numbers and the results of their thinking are at all in the same world. On this conversation here, we're going to ask them any question. No doubt, we're going to ask them what they're thinking. But first of all, it's irrelevant. We're not even early enough to have that conversation. And second of all, if they say $1 million, we haven't got a damn thing to say about it because we haven't done this stage of the research. You know, this might indicate $50,000. This might tell us $100,000. We can't respond based on our theory. Now that we've done this, we've taken this information, we've educated to here. When we're on this call, we can respond and we can say, well, ma'am, the actual comps are this number. We can say the income value is another number. This is the conversation where we find out where we're at. And we find out really which of the three paths we're going to go on. We aren't at the end of the funnel yet. Don't think we're there. But is this going to be a wholesale? Is this going to be a realtor? Or is this going to be a creative? There's a very few number of them that end, that die. So from here, we're finding out, and really what we're finding out on this phone call is whether it's worth having a meeting, and if so, what kind of meeting is worth having. Many people are going to say, well, why don't you come out and see my house first? I will support you if you choose to take that path. I will guide you through it. We will do it together. We might not go see it together because I live in Pennsylvania, but whatever. But I don't do that anymore. Because there should only be a meeting if there's one of three outcomes. If it's going to be death, and we know it's going to be death, why are we going to meet? So let's take a hypothetical. Basically, if you're too far apart, then you suggest other options. But that almost never happens in the Army, because I can always find a way around the solution. So, in our funnel, you're out here getting the raw data in. Everything else in here is a real estate investor army. All the way out to where we get paid. Now, what can we do that you can't do on your own? One, experience. Can you say that you've closed $4 million of deals in the last 3 months? No. Can you say that you've been doing this business for 23 years? Probably not. Can you list properties if they don't end up being wholesalable? Probably not. The second thing we do is the process and papers. And the third thing we do is the buyers. We have more of these than you do. We have more connections than you do. Now remember, the funnel is actually the same for buyers. You got a whole static world of buyers out here. You got to figure out if they're real, figure out what they want, figure out if you can get what they want, and figure out if it's going to work, and figure out if they have the money. And we walk you through the process. You are never alone. Everything in the funnel is an Army project. Our staff plus you gets it done. Out here, we're helping you. In here, we are holding your hand. You are never alone when you're with the Army. There is no risk. Not no risk. There's always risk. But there is no point at which you will not be able to have an answer, because there's always going to be one of us there to hold your hand through the process. Now, it's important you understand, we talked earlier, realtor versus non. I happen to be both. Part of the realtor license is you can market properties. As a wholesaler, you market contracts. That's a huge difference. You are not advertising 123 Main Street. You're advertising your contract on 123 Main Street. Yes, people look at 123 Main Street to buy your contract. But you're not selling it, you're selling your contract. Realtor has a sales agreement. Think of it like a consignment. Like a consignment store. You have a purchase and a sale agreement. You are lined up to buy the property. And you are selling the assignable right to buy that property. In fact, the process is called assigning your contract. Now, assignment is legal in some states. We will teach you how to do it. We will tell you what we last know about that. Part of your process is going to be to make sure what we're doing is legal in your state. But for the most part, the way we do it is pretty much safe. But there are going to be things, and you're going to want to handle them properly. Another reason for working with the Army is we help build your team. What do we mean by your team? There's many people you're going to need, and you're going to need them locally. You're going to need a title company. Some states it has to be an attorney. Pennsylvania is a title company. But you're going to need someone to do that job for you. You're going to need inspectors or contractors. You're going to need perhaps a realtor. Would always be good to have me. You're going to need all these people. And in all these cases, we got your back. You're not alone. That's the point. Never alone in the Army. Even if you can't read my writing, you're still never alone. Got to find a way to do this with typing. Oh look, there's typing down here. I didn't notice that. Okay, I'll do that next time. Okay, the next thing that we want to cover is how do we know if it is a deal. A funny thing happened to me earlier today. I had a lady send me a lead in Scranton, which of course I'm in Scranton, so it's always fun to get a lead that's in my neighborhood. And it was a single family home. She was saying the ARV was $237. She was claiming it needed no work. And she was offering it at $160. And she was claiming it would rent for $1,100 a month, and that would be a 10% profit. ROI, cap rate, whatever. Let me just check and make sure we're still online here. I'm getting a lot of beeps and I don't know why. Okay, so the first thing I explained to her was this is not a deal. As a flip, it is not a deal. Very simply, most people, when you're looking at a flip, is ARV times, markets are different, but usually about 0.7, minus, remember your parentheses always come first, all costs. And that's what you should be able to, that's the most your buyer can buy the property at, your flipper can buy the property at. So 240, close enough, times 0.7 equals 160. So I don't even get this far, and I'm already slightly below that number because 237 is a little bit below 240, so I don't even get to take my costs out yet. So immediately I knew this was not a good deal. The second reason it's not a good deal is, let's say the house needed no work, and she's getting it for under 160 because she's selling it to me for 160. Well, what makes me think I can buy a house for 150, 160, and suddenly sell it for $60,000 more without touching it. Probably other people have seen that deal before I got it, before she got it. So I'd have to wonder. Then what are our costs? Our first cost is purchase cost, which means transfer tax. Now you are going to say, gee, Steve, I'm a wholesaler. I don't have transfer tax. No, you don't. Maybe. But your buyer does. Your flipper has transfer tax. And if you don't think that money matters to them, then you're wrong. Your second cost is your selling costs. Transfer. When your flipper sells it to the next guy, sells it to the final owner. Your third cost is your realtor costs. If your flipper is not an idiot, he's going to have a realtor help him sell that property. Then your fourth cost is your holding cost. While your flipper is holding that property, he's got some expenses. Utilities, taxes accrue. Now, taxes don't disappear just because you're flipping a house. The government still wants their months of taxes. Then, of course, there's your repair costs. And sixth, last but not least, is the wholesaler money. Now, each one of these have a different value and they add up to something. But the point is, if you're at 240 times 0.7 and you subtract all this stuff, just somewhere down here. Let's just say your purchase cost is 2%. 1% even. $16,000. $1,600. Your selling cost is going to be 1% of 240, so that's $2,400. Your realtor cost is going to be 6% of 240, so it's going to be like, I don't know, $12,000, something like that. So 1,600, 2,400, 120. So like, say 15,000 here. Your holding cost might be another 3,000, so it's 18,000 to here. Let's say your repair is 20 grand, so that's now, let's call it even 40 grand. And you want 10 grand for your wholesale, that's 50 grand. Now I take out another 50. 110. And very few repairs are only 20 grand. But the point is, my thumbnail sketch put it at 110. She had it at 160. Why did she have it at 160? Because some other guru taught her you take your ARV, and you multiply it by 0.7, and you're done. Oh, and I didn't even talk about cost of money. Many people have said to me, but you're a cash buyer. The money's free. You have the money. Yes, and I could put that money in the bank and make 1%. I could loan that money out and make 12%. I could put that money in the stock market and make something. That money is not worth zero. Even if it's my money, it should make me something for the fact that it exists. So you're always going to have a loan cost of some kind, which depresses that earlier number. Now, let's talk about the other half of her deal. $1,100 a month. Now, people say, $1,100 a month, I'm just going to round it off and say $13K a year. 13,000 over, I'll just make it simple, 240,000. I'm going to round it to 260. I know I'm hurting the numbers, but just because it's simpler. Take out these three, 13 over 160. Basically, you're talking 5%. Gross rent is a 5% return. But it's not gross. It's not 5%, is it? Because out of my 13 a year, I've got 3 in taxes. I've got one in insurance. I've got one in other stuff. I've got maybe 2 in utilities. So let's say I've got another 1,000 in something else. So let's say I've got 6K out the door. Reality in Scranton is I've got 5K out the door. So let's leave it alone with that. So now I made 9K. So now I'm 9 over 240K. I'm not even 9,000 over 240K. Because I forgot to fix my property. I forgot to do vacancy pad, because you know you're going to have some vacancy. And I forgot the person who manages the property is going to want some money. So all of a sudden, let's just say that out of the 13,000, let's say all of that is 20%. So 13,000, 1,300, it's 10%, so 2,600. So now I'm at $6,600 over 240. That's a pretty small number. Let's say I'm at 6,000, so 6 over 240. That's little. That's 2%. I've now scored myself a 2% return on my investment. But wait, there's more. I gotta have most likely I don't have $250,000 sitting in my account. I'm borrowing that money. Let's say I'm only borrowing the $160,000 of it. I'm just borrowing what I put into the property. Well, if I've got a 5% loan, that 160 is probably costing me, I don't know, $600 a month? Let's call it $500 a month. Well, so we're down at $9,000 without the pads, $6,000 with the pads. So 9 without, with maintenance, vacancy management taken out, minus 6K, which is $500 a month in mortgage, 3K minus 6K is goose egg. So as a rental, I'm making 3 over 160, or I'm making 0 over 160. Okay? And you're all thinking again, wait a second, Steve. We're not buying these properties. We're not holding them. We're not renting them. Why do we care? Because we're an army. It's not your job. It's our job. Is our client's success. If they win, we win. And that's the point. It has to work for the buyer. Actually, let me back up a step. It has to work for the seller. Has to work for the flipper. Has to work for the buyer. And it has to work for you. Has to work for the seller, has to work for the investor, has to work for the buyer, and it has to work for the army. And of course, the army is you. CEBU is a horrible acronym, but it's what it is. Every step of the way, our job Our job is to make it win for everyone. Okay, so we're just about the end of our hour. We are doing these 4 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 9 p.m. What I want you to do is I want you to fill out and return NDA. If you need it DocuSigned, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. On Sunday's show, we're going to cover how to reach out to buyers. We're going to cover the sales funnel. We're going to cover the process. We're going to cover the ways that you can invest in more marketing, whether through us or not. And we're going to go through some sample calls and show you where the scripts are located and the tool sets are located if you become a member. It is free for membership. This is not something I'm looking to generate cash from. Well, I am, but I'm looking to generate cash while you win. So, your second assignment is join the Facebook group and participate. And your third assignment is to look at resources on our YouTube channel. We're just getting this stuff together. We're just getting it online, so the resources are going to grow like crazy. All right. And this is how you contact me. I don't give out cell numbers at this stage of the game because I need to keep things through the system so that I can develop a knowledge base that everyone can learn from. Your name will not be published in most cases, but I might use the contact. Now, one last thing I'm just going to put out there. This is my disclosure, everyone. Everything are recorded. Everything is a learning effort. We want everyone to learn from each other. We win together. Next show, of course, will be Sunday. Then Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Always at 9. Yep, it's really funny when your coach forgets what time it is. But, oh well, deal with it. It happened. Every week, every couple days, 9 p.m. Last thing is, No, I'm not trying to show you cute puppies. I don't know how I did that, but I did. Manage groups. This is us. We're going to have a much better picture in about 10 seconds. I may be kind of being ahead of that game on the 10 seconds thing. But anyway, this is us. Join us. Find us. Know us. You are the Army is you. That's the old logo. Whatever. I'll do it in a little while. Anyway, this is us. Real Estate Investor Army. Join us. Know us. Love us. See you Sunday. Thanks everybody. Bye.